Hey everyone, I'm a software engineer. I've been working in the industry professionally for the last 8 years, doing full stack development, and recently, for the last little over a month, I've been documenting my game development learning journey using the Godot open source game engine. I've built myself a playground to test out different features, different game systems, as a way to just test out these things before I want to build a game in the future. I've been working on this for, I don't know, the timer here says 33 hours. I started that a couple weeks in, so probably spent like 50 hours working on this playground now. And as I do in every stream, at the beginning, I show off everything that I've built. We are at a stable state right now, so there shouldn't be any like major game-breaking bugs here, but you know, there's only one way to find out. So we start with a main menu here. You can continue a game, start a new game, load a game, exit. If we start a new game, we can see there's a basic inventory. There's a top-down view of a player here, and there's not really much on the screen. The basic premise of this game is that it's nighttime. So as you move around, you aren't able to see any of the enemies or things that are, you know, creeping and just around the corner. If you turn on your flashlight, then you can start to see kind of what's happening around you. I've built a little, there's no sound in the game right now, so I've built a little system that allows you to get a better sense, I call it sixth sense, of when enemies are around you. In this case, it shows up with a yellow rectangle with basically the enemy's direction, and it's positioned halfway between the player and the enemy. Right now you can't see the enemy. If you turn your flashlight on, then you can see them. It's just a little zombie that follows you. Got shadows and whatnot. If we go and equip a weapon, so we start out with a basic rifle with some ammo and a sword. I've built like a drag and drop inventory system. But if let's equip our sword, for example, here, and if we have some knockback on the enemy, if we kill the enemy, then they die, and we can see a dual inventory menu where some ammo right now, there are only 3 items in the game currently. There's a sword, a rifle, and some rifle ammo, so the only thing that zombies drop is rifle ammo. We can drag and drop stackable items. And then, yeah, you just kind of move around and do that. There's not a whole lot else to the game right now. I've built out a save system, a chunking system. So if I zoom out here as a debug item, you can see that there's a 3x3 grid that loads around the player. And this loads things in and out and saves them as well, so that if you were to save and exit and come back to the game, everything should be in the exact same state that it was. There should be a zombie right over here, and then, you know, this dead one here, as well as preserving inventories across zombies as well as players. What else? Recently, last stream I fixed the game over state. So if you, let's see, some zombies should be coming because I shot the weapon. When you die, it just takes you back to the main menu, and then you can continue from the last save. I think this stream I'm going to add a game over menu so that you can just quickly load back the last save or go back to the main menu. And then from there, I have a couple other things I want to do. I think I'll make a generic NPC class, which will allow me to make more than just zombies. Right now, everything's kind of hard-coded for zombies, so switching that over to NPC allows me to have more than just zombie enemies, as well as non-player characters that are, you know, that you don't fight. I might add player experience because I kind of want to shrink the inventory by default, and then as you gain more experience, you can, you know, start to get more inventory. Maybe I'll add some different backpack type stuff, pickups that you can have. But yeah, that's the basic premise of the game, and let's get started with coding. Okay, so we need to build a new UI element for the game over screen, which is essentially just a screen that pops up when you essentially lose that save, but it should allow you to load from the previous game, or the current one that you're in. Start a new folder here. Let's call it game over UI. And then from here, we'll create a new user interface. We'll call it Game Over UI. And if we open this up, we'll want to attach a script because it's going to have some functionality behind it. So it's going to be very similar to our main menu. Actually, it probably won't be. I think we'll just have a very basic, it'll say game over. It'll have two buttons, load last save and exit to main menu. So that should be pretty easy to add. So let's go ahead and add a child node, which is now I'm gonna have to remember. I think the structure is panel container. It's kind of the parent. Actually, we'll just leave it as panel container for now. Then we want to go to layout, anchors. We want it to be full rectangle, so we want it to stretch all the way across the screen. And from here, I think we'll basically have two elements. We'll have the top of the screen, which will show game over, and the bottom of the screen, which will have some buttons. So I think as a child node of the panel container, we can make it a VBox container because we want it to be oriented vertically. And then within the VBox container, we will have I mean, it's basically just going to be a label. Which will be positioned vertically at the bottom. Let's also go to container sizing. Vertically, we want shrink end. Hold on one sec, actually. Okay, so we want it to expand. We also technically want shrink end, and then we may need to adjust this slightly. And then on the bottom, we want an HBox container because we'll have two buttons that are centered, but oriented horizontally. And so within that, we'll have two, I think game UI, actually, is it action button? I think it might be action button. Two action buttons here. Let's make this HBox. The alignment is center. Container sizing, we do want it to expand. Okay, so now we have the label here down at the bottom. HBox container is the bottom here. This action button is centered because we're centering things. The button text will say load last save, and I'm realizing I might need to, there's probably something I need to remind myself how I've used the action button previously. Let's see, not sure why the text isn't showing up there, but it's probably something to do with the script. And then we'll add another action button as well. Let's go ahead and rename this to load last save. And then we will just duplicate this and call this one exit to main menu. Great. This label text will say game over, and we want it to be centered. We also want it to be larger, so let's go ahead and make the font size much bigger. 36 is probably too small, so let's bump it up to like 96. Even larger, 144. Okay, that's decent for now. And then, not sure why these aren't showing. Let's go in here. So button text. Okay, so it's not setting the button text until it's ready, so we won't see it. That's fine. The button might also actually be massive, but we will deal with that in a second. Okay, so this should all be okay. So now instead of in the game manager where we say game over, instead of, and actually I'm realizing we don't need to do anything with this. This was some relics from last stream. Instead of loading the main menu, we instead want to load the game over UI / game over UI. And we'll see what happens. We'll need to hook up the action buttons to specific actions, but we'll do that in a sec. Let's see if the UI looks correct here. I think there's a zombie somewhere over here. Okay, invalid set index text on base null instance with value of type string. So it seems that action button is not usable without programmatically creating it, which isn't ideal. I'm saying 33 self.button.text equals self.buttonText. Valid set index text on base null instance with value of type string. So button, what is self.button? I'm surprised that hasn't loaded in yet. Let's look at the action button scene here. So I feel like, oh, excuse me. Worried I'm getting a little sick. Okay, so for some reason the button isn't loading by the time we think this is ready, which is weird. So yeah, button is not existing. Let's see how action buttons are used elsewhere. I can't remember. So we create it, and then we add it as a child, but we do initialize it. I guess technically we need to connect it here, so maybe we don't do that. So okay, so maybe let's do it programmatically. So we'll say action button scene equals preload action button. Let's grab the hbox container. So we'll say at onReady var hbox container scene, and let's actually update this name to be button container. So we'll say button container scene equals panel container slash vbox container slash, we updated this to be, oops, slash, it's annoying that it will overwrite or like add it to the end rather than just overwriting what we already had, but that's okay. Slash button container. Okay, so we will create 2 new action buttons. We'll say load last save button equals action button scene dot instantiate. If we come over into main menu here, we will go ahead and grab basically the same thing we're doing here. Not going to worry too much about margin right now. So let's just say it's all 20. We also need to update this to load last save button. And we can say the text for this one is load last save. We don't have function yet for this. So we'll say function load last save. And we'll go ahead and pass that in here, self.load last save. And we can do the same for the main menu button. Main menu button. And we will say load main menu. So this one's pretty easy to set up. We'll say, let's go, need to remind myself what the, oh, right, get tree.change scene to file. So this one is just changing the scene to the main menu, which I believe is UI/main menu/main menu. So that one's straightforward. Now we need to add both of these to the correct scene. So we say button container scene. Let's just assert for the sake of safety that button container scene does not equal null. Button container scene should not be null here. Dot add child, and then we will add the load last save button, and then same thing with the main menu button. Great, so let's delete these two from the scene here. And give this a go. Great. Okay, so this looks horrible, but it's okay. So these aren't hooked up properly, which is fine. And it looks bad, but we'll figure that out. So this should actually be exit to main menu. And then this needs to be self.load main menu. Great. So we can test this again. Great. Exit to main menu takes us back, and we can hit continue again, and we're in the exact same spot with the same state because we just loaded a new game. So that's great. Now let's remind ourselves in main menu how we access the most recent save. So on continue game button down is what we're looking for. So it's basically this same exact logic. Let's get rid of some of these prints because it's not really necessary anymore. So we essentially want this logic to be available to more than just the main menu now, because we will also load the most recent save. I'm just thinking about an edge case here, but let's go ahead and move this logic to the save manager. We'll say load most recent save. I think it can return void, because this returns void anyway. So let's grab this. Let's not delete it quite yet. We don't need to call save manager here because we can just do self, because that's within save manager. So we can go ahead and delete, not delete them, but just re-reference them to self. And then from here, we can then call save manager dot load most recent save. So this will do nothing if there are no recent saves, but now we can have the benefit of calling this from our game over UI. So we can say save manager dot load most recent save. Okay, so the edge case that I was referring to here, when you start a new game, actually when you start a new game, I automatically save, so it should be the most recent one, but we can test it in a sec. Okay, let's go ahead and continue. Let's get to game over, load last save. Okay, brings us back exactly where we're supposed to go. Perfect. Working exactly as expected. Oh, my dog's sleeping. It scared me. Great, so that looks good. Let's test the edge case here. Actually, let's go into the saves and delete all of our saves here, which means that we have no continue button anymore. So if we start a new game, let's go ahead and find ourselves some zombies. If I shoot, it should trigger all of them to start coming in this direction. All of the ones that are close by, at least. There we go. Okay, so if we load last save, great. It just, I think it should be, yeah, basically the new game state. So I think then if we come in here, we have one save, we hit continue. Yeah, it's basically new game. Okay, so that works perfectly. So let's size these appropriately here. I currently don't have a way to do that well, because I think the action buttons that I've built have been under the assumption that they're always going to be the size, like fill to the size that the parent has. I mean, that's every button that's in the game so far is an action button. So the same thing that I'm using for the game over. So, I mean, honestly, we could leave it as is. It looks ugly, but it's functional. And right now, I guess I care more about the functionality of things than I do the looks of them. Maybe if we just centered this, it would even look better. Wait a second. Did that? Okay, that's a weird bug. So okay, let's see. I started a new game and then I died. I saved. So let's find a zombie here. So the player didn't reset. That's what happened. Hey, Shadow. Not much, just working on a game over screen. I was working yesterday on the just game over functionality in general. And today I'm just adding a little screen where you can load your last save or go back to the main menu. I've only been live for like 25 minutes, so I just have like a, let's show you here, just a little basic game over screen, but I'm fixing a bug right now. So it looks like so you can hit load last save, and then I died again. If I go exit main menu and then I start a new game, it actually loads the last save. So I need to figure out why that's happening. And that's what I'm doing right now. That is weird. It is weird because we should be resetting the chunks. We're not resetting the player though. So, well, but actually the player should be loaded in from the save. So I'm a little confused by that. Let's remind ourselves what the new game does. It just changes scene to chunk testing. Okay. Oh, but is there anything? Let's remind ourselves how. So with chunk testing, what's telling everything that it's a new game? Realizing actually I don't have anything here that says that. I have game manager. I have is new game. And this is used in player, NPC save, player save, and zombie. But it's not used in chunk. Now I need to remind myself where I'm randomizing things. Here. Let's go to chunk manager. Oh, that's what I'm in. Maybe it's in chunk itself. Shouldn't these have a unique ID? Oh no, I guess they don't. But wait, is it save manager? It might be save manager. Where is the unique ID that I'm saving? Okay, saves game. Oh, game manager.game version. No, it's not. Sorry, it's not that. Hold up. It's, oh, get playthrough ID. Self.playthrough ID, self.generate unique ID. Okay, so this needs to be regenerated when we start a new game. So we can do that by saying, let's see, let's have a function here that says start new game. That basically takes the playthrough ID and says self.generate unique ID. And that might be enough. So I think then when we, like in main menu, when we start a new game, we don't need to do this technically on the first time, but we can, it doesn't hurt to do it here. So we'll start a new game. So that'll change the unique ID, which I think should update everything. Oh, we might also need to, I'm realizing, do self.is new game equals true. Okay, so I think that should cover that. And then no, I think that's it. Okay, so started a new game here. Let's go ahead and save. So we should be able to, yep, load last save works properly. Exit to main menu, new game. Yeah, starts a new game. Okay, cool. So that is all working as intended now. And we have our first feature of the day finished. Added game over UI screen. Hooked up to action buttons. On that note, I'll be back in like 5 minutes. I want to get something to drink because I drank all my water. And yeah, I'll be right back. elevator music intensifies. I'm back. Thanks for your patience. I'm not feeling super great today, so I honestly don't know how long I'm going to be on. As much as I want to stream for a while today, it's, you know, there's only so much I can do if I'm not feeling well. All right, so let's work on moving the enemies. So in this case, the zombie right now to a generic NPC class. Similar to what we've done for weapons, where we have a base weapon class, then a ranged and a melee weapon class on top of that, and then on top of that, the actual weapons themselves. So in this case, we want to have like a base NPC class that has some relatively generic information like a name, maybe some health, some basic functions that a general NPC might have, like maybe an interact button or something, although for now I don't really know what that's going to be. Most of the things that I'm doing for zombie would be on like an enemy class that inherits or extends the NPC class. I unmuted myself, right? Yeah, okay, cool. So let's get started with that, and then we'll have like an enemy class on top of that, and then when we start to add non-enemies, we can, you know, figure out what that class looks like. But let's go ahead and get in here. So we did all of the weapon stuff in weapons here. So let's do the same. Let's create a folder called NPCs. And within this, a new script called NPC. And we can go ahead and open this up. Say class name NPC, and this will allow us also to adjust the, maybe all NPCs will have an inventory. That'll probably work. But this will allow us to adjust some of our save stuff. So we have this NPC save file here, where we're currently hard-coding things to zombie. We'll be able to update this to NPC and then save inventories and whatnot. So yeah, this is assuming that all NPCs have an inventory. So I do think it is a safe thing to make all NPCs require an inventory, and we can go, you know, remove that later if we need to. But we can say NPC name, it will be a string. We'll have a getter, which returns NPC name, and a setter, that just sets it. We will have them have a inventory, which will be instantiated in the same way. Actually, this should be updated too. Get return inventory and set. I think we're doing the same thing for the player. No, we're not even doing that for the player. Interesting. What did I use to learn Godot and GDScript? So several years ago, I started watching, let's see if I can find him again. Who was it? There's a Godot tutorial that I really enjoyed. From a guy. It was, yeah, several years ago. Hey, look at that. I'm showing up in the Godot tutorial page. Maybe that's just because that's kind of fun. I mean, I'm way down there, but what's up? Oh, Heartbeast. Yeah, it was Heartbeast. So he has been making Godot content. It looks like he hasn't posted in like 6 months, but he made some cool Godot 3 tutorials way back in the day. Yeah, make an action RPG in Godot 3.2. So I watched this whole tutorial, followed along, you know, wrote all the code for it, yada yada. And then from there started like just messing with other features and stuff, and, you know, ultimately put game dev down for a while. But then, you know, this was kind of the base thing that I used to learn Godot. And then from there, just reading docs and messing around with stuff, kind of doing what I'm doing now. Like, I wouldn't say there's a lot of stuff I don't know, but I know enough where I can like build out some features and things. But as soon as I start getting into like shaders or like sound or animation trees or whatever, like I'm gonna be a complete noob and gonna have to go look at all of that, either YouTube tutorials or docs or whatnot. Okay, so come into the NPC, you can say inventory equals inventory.new. I guess, yeah, since it's NPC, we don't want the player character to inherit this or extend this, so I will take back what I was about to say. Okay, so they have a name, they have inventory. Let's also say they have health, which is a int. Let's just say everyone by default has 10. You're welcome, Shadow. Yeah, Heartbeast was super helpful in learning Godot. Super, super helpful. And I think there are plenty of other people too that you know, do tutorials and whatnot. But his in particular, I thought were well done. Okay, so you got the name, inventory, the health. Let's go into zombie here, see if there's anything else that we need. Okay, maybe a speed and then like an ID. I'm actually realizing there's probably a lot more stuff here that I need to update. I'm setting it to 4,000 because that's what the zombie's set to. I don't know any better value. But there, yeah, there's gonna be some stuff that I need to definitely account for here. We also want the NPC ID, which will be a string. And we're setting that to GameManager.generate unique ID. I don't know that we need a setter for this, but we will just have a getter. Inventory, knockback velocity, that can all be on an enemy is alive, can be, I guess, on the NPC, although this probably won't be something that every NPC uses. Like, there might be some NPCs that you don't want to be able to kill. Although we could make the game have killable NPCs, which would just kind of like, you know, do it like Dark Souls style, but I'm still far away from having kind of a idea of what that's gonna look like. Okay, what else? I think that might be it, and everything else can be just walk time used for. Ah, that's for wandering as a zombie. Okay. Great. So that looks good. Now I don't know that I need any other generic functions here, because I have like some movement stuff, but that can all be on specific implementations, like taking damage, I think can be more on the enemy. Yeah, okay, I think that's good. So let's then create a enemy class, which will inherit from or extend the NPC. I don't think I've created this yet. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay. It doesn't extend node, it extends NPC. So we have all of the basic information about an NPC, and then on an enemy, we will have some more information like we can have a signal for when an enemy is killed. And I guess we can emit the ID. That's probably fine. We will have is visible, which will be related to the actually, I think this needs to be is enemy visible, which is related to the mechanic of the flashlight. Then we need, I guess, walk time can be more an implementation on the zombie, because not every enemy is necessarily going to wander. But maybe they will, but we can deal with that in a little bit. Okay, these are more specific to zombies. The knockback velocity, I think, is something that we want all enemies to have. As you hit them, there will be some knockback. So I have a function called take knockback, which takes in the player position and the knockback strength. It's actually just... Is this used at all, actually? Oh yeah, it is, okay. Knockback strength. Great. So we also need the knockback velocity here. KV. What are you yelling about? Oh. Right, so that should be good. I think that's... Is that everything? Okay, so we'll want then to handle like taking damage. Honestly, we can probably, I think we already have a function for this. So self.handle dead zombie creation. Okay, so let's have this return a Boolean. hold on. So what am I wanting here? I want to basically say, okay, actually, is it, hold on. Is there anything that, yes, okay, so if health is less than or equal to 0, we want to say self.enemy killed with enemy ID. So we want to emit that. We don't want to call game manager.zombie killed because that can be done on the zombie. We want to set is alive to false, and we don't want to handle dead zombie creation. So what do I want to return here? Basically want to say maybe I don't need to return anything, and it can all be handled in the specific zombie. So basically you can't take damage if you're not alive. Otherwise your health is less than or equal to damage. And if health is less than or equal to 0, then we emit that the enemy was killed, and we set is alive to false. And then from there, in the child enemy class, so in like the zombie, for example, we would say super.take damage, and then have some logic in there that handles like spawning a dead zombie. So I think this should actually be all we need for now. Great. And anything else? Oh, do we want any of the light collision stuff to be on an enemy? Mark visible. Probably, actually. Which starts to get into some weirdness here, because sprite is okay. So actually, I think this shouldn't be too bad. Shouldn't be too bad. Mark visible. We can just ignore the sprite stuff and just handle is enemy visible. Okay, so if you're not alive, set it to false. Otherwise, set it to whatever you pass in. And then let's see. Do we care about this logic? Okay, so the emit is day and emit is night stuff we don't really use anymore because this was a relic of something I worked on a while ago. Do we want this though? If game manager dot is new game, do we want to add anything? No, I think this should be done on the actual child enemy rather than the enemy class itself. And yes, okay, so great. So let's now extend, extends character body 2D. Is there a way to extend multiple things in Godot? multiple classes. Hey, Copy, I'm doing well. How are you? And by doing well, I'm good. I'm not feeling super well, so I don't know how long I'm going to be on today. Been on for like an hour now. Already made some good progress. Built a game over screen that allows you to load the last save or go back to the main menu. Fixed a couple bugs, and now I'm creating the delineation between NPCs, so both enemies and other types of NPCs. So just working on that inheritance there. Okay. Extend multiple nodes. No, that's multiple. Does not support. Why do I feel like I saw something recently that did extend character? Oh, maybe it's that NPC needs to extend character body 2D. Yeah, that's probably what it is. And then I can just say extends enemy, and we're gonna have some errors here. Shadow, do you and Copy know each other? Or you guys have just been hanging out in my stream and have recognized each other over the, last month. All right, so health, no longer needed. Speed, no longer needed. Inventory, also no longer needed. Knockback velocity, no longer needed. Is alive, same thing. And now we've got to go through and fix stuff here. So let's not connect that anymore. So now we need to go into take damage. Say super dot take damage and pass in damage. So we're already handling this stuff. And we do want to say if self dot health is less than or equal to 0, we already emit when an enemy's dead, so we have to update that in the chunk. Let's actually do that real quick. It is zombie. Let's see, is that chunk manager? Is zombie. Let's see, connect, no. No, you don't know each other? Just saying hi. Maybe that's not even being used anywhere. Okay, go back to zombie. Zombie killed. I thought this was used. Chunk. Zombie killed. No. Zombie killed. So this gets called nowhere? Seeing you for the first time, did you just join today? No, Shadow's been around for a while. Okay. So maybe that isn't being used anywhere. Which is fine if it's not. Okay, we're just calling GameManager.zombieKilled. Which... Okay, guess that's okay. So we've already done that. Handle dead zombie creations should all work as expected. Oh, we do need to do the sprite stuff. Okay, so for mark visible, we're going to say super dot mark visible. And then we don't need to do the is zombie visible stuff anymore. We can just mark the sprite. So Anywhere is zombie visible is used. We instead want that to be as enemy visible. Is zombie. Okay, maybe we're not using that anywhere. Okay, so take damage. On is night, on is day. Those aren't being used anymore, so we can get rid of that. Get unique ID. I don't think that's being used anywhere. Set unique ID. Also not being used anywhere. Cool, we're getting some good cleanup here. So that should all be fine. So we don't need zombie ID anymore, which will probably break some other things. So now it's just going to be a wild goose chase to find all that broken stuff. So let's go into NPC save. So we're going to update this from zombie to NPC. So if NPC is NPC and is not null, okay, so populate NPC. Okay, let's see if this just works. It might just work. And then what is ID in this case? Okay, get NPC save path. So, okay, so zombie.zombie ID is no longer... I'm disappointed that's not throwing an error. Okay. So back to chunk. What was it? Chunk. So zombie.NPC ID instead. Because this is specifically handle saving chunk. Okay, so rather than zombie is zombie, I think we care more about it being an NPC. And we'll, you know, if we add more things, zombies might turn into like an NPC's object, but that's okay for now. Actually, this can be updated to PC config. Maybe we do actually want to update all of this now as well. So then we can handle more than just zombies specifically. NPC, PC config. Say this is an NPC. NPCs. Now we're gonna have to update a bunch of stuff here. So instead of zombies, it's fine, I think. Okay, so rather than loading in specifically zombie data, we'll say NPC data. Let's update all of this to NPCs. I don't think it matters because we should be able to. Okay, so for NPC and zombie and NPC data. So the big difference here now is we say, because we only have one NPC type, we say if NPC is zombie, and then we do all of this zombie stuff. So zombie instance dot unique, sorry, enemy ID equals, it's not gonna be zombie dot get ID, it's NPC, sorry, not enemy ID, this is gonna be NPC ID. Global position is NPC dot get global position. Zombie config dot load. Say NPC dot get ID. NPC no, actually, this will all stay the same. Zombie config file. So npc.getID. Okay, save zombie npc self.add zombie instance. So let's maybe call this add npc. So add zombie be add npc. So add npc, specifically going to be an npc. I think, pretty sure all of this is just generic here. Enough such that we should be able to do this. So if that has npc dot npc id, and we say npcs npc dot npc id. Same thing here. We'll call this npc id. So, I mean, maybe at some point we'll want to not allow any NPC to be like added or removed. But for now, I think this should all work. Okay, has NPC. Let's also update all of these to self dot, because that's how we're doing everything here. Self NPCs. Okay, get NPCs. Do we really need that? I don't think we do. I think we can say get just return NPCs. Okay, so that should all be updated now. Okay, so this set value needs to be updated to NPCs. And then we'll say NPC data. Okay, NPCs data for NPC in... I know this is riveting. This is super entertaining, I'm sure. But it is just part of the process. Okay. NPC must be a NPC. Yeah, just part of refactoring. Okay, saving NPC with ID, NPC ID. It's kind of annoying that all of this isn't like, I'm gonna kind of have to find it. Like a lot of this stuff isn't strongly typed. So I'm sure there are going to be errors as we try to boot up the game, and it'll just be a wild goose chase. Okay, so npc.globalid, blah, 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 NPCs. Is there anything about zombies here? There is, but only in the specific zombies. Okay, populate zombies. That's fine. Okay, great. So does chunk manager have add NPC? It does. Great. Okay. Zombie. Populate zombies array. Add chunk position to zombie position. That's to foliage position. We'll also at some point want to do this with foliage, because right now it's all just a single. Okay, so for NPC in self.npcs.values, removing NPC with ID, npc.npcid, npc.queueFree, NPC must be a NPC. Great, so I think all zombies here are now specifically in the NPC, your zombie specific logic. Okay, so that's good. Let's go to chunk manager. Let's see, handle zombie chunk position. So this should be updated. So handle NPC chunk position. Okay, zombie. So we want to say, instead of add zombie, it's just going to be add NPC, chunk position, NPC, and NPC. Freeing NPC to NPC ID because it is not in a loaded chunk. NPC.queue free. Okay, that's interesting logic. Okay, remove NPC. NPC ID, remove NPC. NPC ID. Otherwise, don't remove the NPC from the dictionary. Okay, great. For every chunk, for every NPC in that chunk, check if the NPC is in the correct chunk. So NPCs is just this for NPC ID in NPCs. So NPCs. Okay, so maybe this should be keys actually. NPCs, NPC ID. Let's just make a mental note to come back to this line 106-ish in chunk manager. I don't think that should break anything, but given what we saw yesterday with the weirdness of like erasing keys as we're like removing a zombie here, we just want, you know, this is probably the better way to do like access keys in general on an object. Okay, so NPC chunk. Just calculate chunk position with NPC position. Self.remove NPC. NPC ID. Add NPC. My monitor turned off, but I can still see image cleaning will start. Please don't start image cleaning. I didn't ask you to do that. Now is a bad time to start image cleaning. No. Bad. Okay, hold on. This, I don't know what's gonna happen here. Okay, am I still live? I honestly have no idea. I have to go to the stream. My monitor just decided to turn off, and now is the time for image cleaning. Okay, I am. Weird. Wonder what happened here. Okay, cool. Should be good. So back to NPC land. Okay, NPC chunk. NPC moved from chunk position to chunk NPC chunk. Okay, that should be okay. Now this will be NPC killed, not zombie killed. So that will need to be updated, I think, on the zombie. Say NPC ID, NPC GP. Okay, so let's just go back onto zombie real quick. Say zombie killed will be NPC killed. Oh no, wait, that's actually not what we want to do. Wait, chunk manager dot NPC killed. Hold on. Are we even using this? That's my question. Let's rename this back to zombie killed and then see if it's being used anywhere. I don't think it is. So I think we can actually remove this. Oh, right, because we're not removing a zombie from the chunk when a zombie's killed anymore. So that's fine. Okay, zombie, otherwise queue free, the NPC. Remove NPC from current chunk. Add NPC to new chunk. Okay, so that's everything there. We updated everything here as well. Okay, so we did that to do. What else? What else? What else? What else? There's got to be more. Chunk. Let's go to save manager. Anything about zombies? No. Game manager. Anything about zombies? Yes. But it's all kind of zombie related. Dealing with dead NPCs. Okay, I think all our save files are going to be donezo. So maybe we just give it a try and see what happens. Okay, cool. Non-existent function get zombies in base. Okay, so chunk. Oh, chunk testing. I didn't go there. So we to look for all the zombies stuff here. Populate NPCs after chunk has been added to scene tree. Okay, chunks.get keys, get key.npcs. So let's assert. Oh wait, we already did that. That's a chunk. Great. So for NPC ID in NPCs, we'll say if. Okay, so we want to assert that. Hold on. We'll say assert, and we'll do dot keys because that's what we're doing now. So assert that NPCs dot get CID is NPC. NPC must be a NPC. And then if NPC is zombie, we will add it to the zombies group. What are you yelling about? NPC not declared. Oh, if NPC equals NPCs dot get NPC ID, and we can actually do this first, and we can say if NPC is NPC, and really we can just do values here. I don't know why we need the key. So just say NPC. If NPC is NPC, great. So we can have other logic here, but we'll say, wait, add child. I think just NPC. Great. Any other zombie specific stuff? Yes, on chunks updated. Chunk dot NPCs for NPC in NPCs dot values. Assert that NPC is actually I could do this in the getter. No, then you have to iterate through. Never mind. Okay, assert that NPC is NPC. NPC must be a NPC. If NPC is zombie, then we can do this and just say NPC. Okay, so any zombie specific stuff, yes, but it's all when it's an actual zombie and not just an NPC. Okay, let's give this another go. It's working. Okay, non-existent function get unique ID and base character body 2D, so player. Okay, so there's some player stuff related to zombies. Okay, handle closest zombie for sixth sense. If body is zombie, on zombie killed. When is this? Okay, connect. Oh, zombie kill. Okay, so we are connecting actually the zombie killed. So let's so we do have the signal still that we can emit. So self.emit. No, sorry, zombie kill.emit self.npc ID. Is that? Yeah, with an ID. So we'll come back to player. So we should still be able to connect to that. Now it's not body.get unique ID, it's body.npc ID, and it's body is NPC. Really in this case, it's if body is enemy. So we'll do this for any enemy. So connect, actually enemy killed. And we'll say this is emit enemy killed. So on enemy killed. So we'll have to make some updates here. So let's actually go back into zombie, get rid of zombie killed because we don't really care about that. Let's go into enemy. We should be emitting, yeah, self.enemyKilled.emit. And if we're calling super, then that should be fine. Great. Okay. Let's go back to player. So got some more stuff about zombies. If body is enemy, body.npc ID, handle erasing. Handle erasing. NPC, okay. 6 cents. It's body. Handle closest enemy for 6 cents. Closest enemy, so type enemy. Closest enemy or equals null. Closest enemy equals value. Self.global position distance to value goes closest enemy global position. Say closest enemy. And closest enemy. Okay. Handle erasing. So on enemy killed. Handle erasing enemy. Enemy. Oh yeah, not NPC, enemy. Okay, so what is the zombie stuff still? Check if there are any enemies. Add enemy. Handle closest enemy for 6 cents. If body is enemy and body dot is alive. Great. So no more zombie specific stuff. Am I doing NPC things? No? Okay. All right, let's give this a try again. Let's close you, stop you, start you. Start a new game. So we got an enemy. 6 cents is working. It looks like. Great. Let's add a rifle. So we gotta test everything here. Okay. Invalid get index enemy ID on base character as our enemy ID. What is that? Take damage. Ah. So it's not enemy ID, it's NPC ID. Great. Small things like this, but I think we're pretty close. Start another new game. That killed it quickly because I think I made enemy or NPCs have 10 health. Is that right? Yeah, so okay, so in zombies we need to say, is there an init here? No, there's just a ready. So we can say self.health equals, actually I'm realizing we're not saving health at all related to an NPC, but we can do that later. So that's equal to 20. So that basically means if we saved a game after you've hit a zombie, 1, 2, or 3 times, because it takes 4 shots of the rifle to kill a zombie, when you reload the game, it'll be full health again. So an NPC save, let's add a to-do. To-do add NPC health to save file. And honestly, health, I think we're storing is alive, if I'm not mistaken. Let's get rid of all of this real quick. NPC save. So we store is alive position, but we need to store health. NPC name. Okay. So in zombie, you'll say health is 20. To do, load this in from save file once it's added. And then we can also say self.npc name equals zombie. Not that it is going to be used for anything right now. So that should be good. And okay, I think that's okay. So let's start over the new game. Let's shoot once to get some zombies attracted to us. Okay. 4, can open up the inventory, move the rifle ammo over, save, exit. We continue a new game. It's gone. Okay, so we've got a bug there, which probably means it's related to just the save files stuff. So, okay, an NPC save. Do we have any zombie specific things? No. So it's probably an issue in chunk, would be my guess. Okay, NPCs, zombies. Okay, NPC save, maybe NPC save. Oh, okay. So in save manager, I think we have no? Okay, so I updated okay, so that's actually NPCs. That should be fine. Save player data, populate player, list of save files, load game metadata. So maybe NPC save isn't loading. Populate NPC, yada, yada, yada. Populate, no. Load, no. Okay, so for the chunk itself, so for NPC and NPC data, if NPC is zombie, okay, so we're not going to know it's a zombie. So we need to store this information now, actually. Okay, so this config file, self.get chunk save path. Okay, so that's being saved. So when we're saving NPC information, we got NPC config. Okay, so NPC's data. We basically need to store one more piece of information here that says what type of enemy it is. So we're not going to be able, this is just going to have to be strings. Actually, we could have an ID, much in the way we have item list. We could do an enemy or NPC list. But for now, I think I'll say NPC type. And in this case, I'll call it a zombie. To handle this better, maybe something like item list, but for NPCs. Okay, so we'll have NPC type is zombie. So instead of saying if NPC is zombie, we'll say if NPC, for NPC, let's get NPC type equals NPC data dot get value. No, wait. Oh, no, sorry. Dot get NPC type. We'll assert that NPC type does not equal null. We'll say the default here is null if it doesn't exist. NPC type must be specified on NPC save data. So if NPC type equals zombie, then we load in a zombie. So it's not super safe, but it's better than nothing. Okay, so our save files that we currently have are going to be busted. Let's go ahead and delete those. Let's try this again. Start a new game. Got a couple zombies there. So there is some non-existent function get in base array. What is this? Oh, a new chunk loads dot get NPC data in base array. Wait, is this an array? Hold on. Oh, I guess it is, isn't it? Yeah, it's an array, not an object. So this is actually, wait, really? Hold on. So NPCs is array for NPC, not NPC data. We want npc.get NPC type. Okay, small error. Start this again. I think we can continue. I don't know why that's happening. It's a little strange. So let's go ahead and kill these two zombies. Ooh, some bugs with visibility of zombies, so we'll have to work on that one. Okay, move some ammo over here. Let's go ahead and save. Exit. And if we continue, we should see them here with their same inventories. Beautiful. Great. And I guess if I move that there and save again, it should, there should load properly. Yeah, 9 rifle ammo. Is that the position I put it in? Maybe. Cool. All right, so I think we're at the point where we've got the delineation between, we have the class structure of NPC, enemy, zombie. We don't have any other types of enemies or NPCs, but that's okay for the moment. But now we at least have the structure such that we can add on top of this, and it should be relatively easy to slot in. Ooh. They're coming from everywhere. We're running out of ammo. Whoops, why isn't that? Oh, there we go. There's a bug too, I think, with the dual inventory menu as well, but cool. All right, I think we're at a point now where we're looking pretty good. And I think at this point, been going for an hour and a half. I'm not feeling super well. This is honestly longer than I was expecting to go. So I think I'm going to call it here. I really appreciate everyone hopping on. It's a good just coding session. Wasn't the most, didn't get the most things done, but it at least was productive. So let's commit this. Added delineation of NPCs and zombies. That's quite the name. So I've mentioned this in previous streams, but every time there's a chat message that comes through, it reads out in my headset, but not to you guys what the message is. So it's reading out your entire name and then the message. Yeah, what's up? Unleashing, I guess is what I'll call you. Yeah, let's push this. Back is hurting too. I guess while I'm waiting for them to respond, thanks everyone for hopping on. It was a good session. Made some good progress. Uh-oh. Wait. Has this not been... Is my stream not updating any of the text here? Oh no, it hasn't been since... Wow, no one mentioned that. That's not ideal. Sorry about that, guys. Not updating any of the text here. Oh no, it hasn't been since... Yeah, it wasn't updating my screen at all. And no one mentioned anything. Guys, come on, you gotta tell me. Hopefully that wasn't happening for too long. I can't remember when it... An honest developer's review? You've been up for a nice haul working on something? Yeah, sure, send it over. Well, apologies for the last like half hour of it not updating code. I'm actually curious at what point it crashed there. Can't remember. When was it? What's happening there? Okay, I got stuck for the last like 25 minutes. All right. Well, sorry guys. You're working on a Mac OS app? Sorry, this is on my stream now. What the password is? I don't know what you're wanting me to look at, dude. But I don't think I'm going to log into a random website right now. Apologies, but I don't know what's hiding there. Whoops. Won't send link. Yeah, that's probably because it's blocking it. Here's what you can do. Oh, I'm not signed in here? Okay, hold on a sec. Here's what I'll have you do. I'll send you my Twitter. You can DM me. I'll take a look, check it out off stream, and then next stream I'll talk about it if that works for you. Hold on, just logging into my Twitter. All right, let's see if this code works. Let me send. Okay. Here's my Twitter. I'll post it in the chat. So just give me a follow and send me a DM. What am I building? I am, so over the last like 5 weeks basically now, I've been streaming my game development learning journey. So basically, you know, I started learning Godot several years ago, and like every so often we'll do a little something here and there, but really wanted to sit down and hold myself accountable to building something out. So I've built kind of I'm not building a game per se. I don't have like an end goal here. I'm just adding systems and features that allow me to learn more about Godot, game development, and, you know, maybe implement some features that I want to add to a game later. So I'll just go through a quick demo, but it's a top-down like scroller. You can move around with keyboard, look around with your mouse. The basic premise is that you can only see enemies when you have your flashlight on, and you can shoot them. And I've built out like an inventory system and like a drag and drop system between inventories, so you can, you know, get stuff from enemies and whatnot. And yeah, that's most of the game so far. I built out a save system. That's a lot of what I was working on, just like integrating some new stuff today. I've built let me zoom out here. Built a chunking system, so as you move around, chunks load in and out, and zombies with them. Recently added like chests and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been a good time. Got some good feedback. Thanks, dude. But yeah, with that, I think I am gonna hop off here. I am tired, not feeling super well. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. But yeah, thanks everyone for hopping on. Had a good time. And I will catch you all in the next one. I'll probably be on again tomorrow for at least a little bit. But yeah, see you guys around the same time. Bye. How's the learning curve on Godot? It's not too bad. It's pretty similar to Python, just in terms of. Thanks, dude. Appreciate the sub. Learning curve on Godot isn't too bad. It's very similar to Python, and really most of what I've had to learn is just like how Godot works. GDScript itself isn't too bad. And yeah, a lot of the stuff that I was learning was just like basic game dev stuff. I think it's probably applicable to Godot, Unity, Unreal, any game engine really that you're using. But yeah, it hasn't been too bad. But again, I've spent, 50 hours over the last month, like learning more stuff and building out game systems and whatnot. So yeah, it's been a good journey. All right.